beers prior to the show. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you breathing it in deep?
If only I had Richard Simmons here. If only we knew where he was, I could find him. He could get me going. Okay, I think I'm ready.
All right.
Let's do this shit. Hey guys, welcome back to Vibrations and Libations. Of course, I'm James.
And I'm Keith, still.
He's still Keith. And tonight we're going to be listening to
Temple of the Dog.
Temple of the Dog. Great, I guess you could say, super group of the 90s, consisting of Chris Cornell, members of Pearl Jam, before Pearl Jam, right? Yeah.
I like to call them a pre-super group because they hadn't hit it big yet.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So this album was made as a tribute,
right?
Kind of to
Andrew Wood.
Yes, who was a singer in Mother Love Bone.
Correct.
That was another Seattle band that was around before the whole grunge scene really hit big, I guess.
Right, and two members of Pearl Jam were in that band.
Right.
With him, and Andrew Wood was also Chris Cornell's roommate.
Mm-hmm.
And he passed away heroin overdose.
Yeah, and of course we all know about Chris Cornell. What a great talent, but he's no longer with us. So this is a good album. If you've never listened to Temple of the Dog, if you're from the '90s, surely you have. And if you're a Chris Cornell fan, surely you have. But he belts it out on this album.
Oh man, he does. It's some of his finest work.
Yeah, I agree. So tonight we're doing things a little bit different as far as drinking goes. We have two different beers. I am going to be drinking, what is the name of this? The Duck Rabbit. It's a milk stout. Is what I have. Of course, I'm a huge stout lover. And Keith, what do you have?
I have Highwire Brewing Strongman Coffee Milk Stout. A milk stout as well, but coffee.
Yeah, and I like his label because it's got a little,
Carney Strongman.
Yeah, with the nice little handlebar mustache on it.
It's James on my beard.
Yeah, I've thought about shaving it off again, but I'm going to stay strong and keep it. So I'm going to go ahead and pour my beer, and we'll see what it looks like and what it smells like, and the most important part, what it tastes like. Crucial part of the video, as always, can I pour it without messing it up?
Well, it is a stout, James.
It is a stout. I think I can do it. Nice.
All right, we'll talk about the album a little bit.
Let's do it. I'm going to start drinking.
The album was recorded in 1990, but didn't come out until 1991. Initially sold 70,000 copies. However, it is a certified platinum. But it didn't get certified platinum until 1992, after Pearl Jam and Soundgarden became a thing. They became a big band, and then the record company was like, hold on, we forgot about this album. Then they decided to finally promote it,
right?
Whereas they didn't before, and once they did it, they sold the hell out of them.
They had a little diamond in the rough there, and it's like you said, they're like, wait a minute, we've got this, let's put it out and see what happens. They made a couple of videos. I think the two singles that come off this album were Hunger Strike and Say Hello to Heaven.
Correct.
Which is the first track on the album that's playing right now. So, you never know what's going to happen in music. You get people together, especially before they hit it big, and you listen to that kind of stuff, and you're like, well, this happened before they were popular. And it's freaking good.
Right.
So it's just kind of like, was it destined to happen that Soundgarden and Pearl Jam go their own ways, but still, put out some good shit, both of them together. So.
Right, and and speaking of which, Eddie Vedder had just flown in to audition to be in what was going to become Pearl Jam. They haven't even decided on the name Pearl Jam yet. And Chris Cornell welcomed him in, the new guy in, invited him to sing backup on the album and co-lead on Hunger Strike.
Yeah.
And so I think that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
It shows the kind of character that Chris Cornell.
Right. And an ear for the talent too.
Right.
Because even today, Eddie Vedder's probably one of the more popular, prolific singers, vocalists, still going strong with Pearl Jam. So rock on with them. Kind of makes me wonder when I think about this album coming out when it did. I've already said Chris Cornell, he's passed. Of course, Kurt Cobain passed. I don't really know, I hate to bring Nirvana up into this because it's not really about them, but I don't really know that they would have stuck it out as long as maybe Soundgarden and Pearl Jam did.
I think they would have.
You think so?
Yes, because I think Nirvana was in flux. I think they were about to change a little bit, try some new things, because Dave Grohl had recorded a couple of songs, and Kurt, he was with Kurt Cobain, and they were, collaborating on them, and Dave even sung on them. And I think when Kurt, he played actually the first Foo Fighters album, many of the songs for Kurt, and when Kurt heard them, he kissed him.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Foo Fighters, of course, is a great band on their on their own. So it's just that group of people in that time it was just meant to be for music. And I really can't say that there's been a movement in music since the whole, call it grunge or alternative or whatever you want to call it. I don't know that there's been a movement as strong and as powerful and was influential, is the word I'm looking for here, as that time frame. Alice in Chains, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden,
Screaming Trees.
That's another good band.
Oh man, and I mean, this is a prime example. The cuts are so deep on this. I mean, the lyrics, the music, the tone, it's all so soulful and full of emotion and feeling, and that's what music was lacking.
Yeah.
People heard that. They heard the people opening up their souls once again, so to speak, and they gravitated towards it.
Yeah, I would consider, and we'll go on to other things after I say this if Keith wants to, but I kind of consider that whole 90s alternative scene to, as far as songwriting goes, to like the late 60s and early 70s when you have bands like Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young, and then you got Neil Young and just all of those guys who just really put their heart and soul into their lyrics and into their music. The 80s, it's got its place, but and the 90s, the early hip hop stuff and everything, it's got its place too. But as far as just rock music goes, I think this is a golden age that we haven't seen since.
Right.
And I don't know if we'll ever see it again.
Who knows? We still have the Brotherhood.
We do still have Chris Robinson Brotherhood. Thank God Almighty we got Chris Robinson Brotherhood. All right, so Keith, what else have we got to talk about on this record?
We're going to name the tracks. Let's name the tracks.
The first track, Say Hello to Heaven. Great song. Chris Cornell just absolutely kills it on that.
Just absolutely kills it. And then you got Reach Down, which is Say Hello to Heaven and Reach Down are the first two songs that Chris Cornell recorded. He wrote them out on the road while he was on tour. His buddy Andrew Wood passed away.
Yeah.
He got that news, wrote these songs, come right home and laid the tracks down.
Yeah.
Of course they redid them whenever the band formed or whatever, but Reach Down is a hell of a song as well.
Absolutely.
Hunger Strike, Pushing Forward Back, Call Me a Dog, Times of Trouble, Wooden Jesus, Your Savior, Four-Walled World, All Night Thing.
All Night Thing, yeah. So what's your favorite song on this album?
My favorite song on this album, it used to be Wooden Jesus.
Yeah, that's a great song.
Love
Great song.
Wooden Jesus. But Call Me a Dog.
Oh, yeah. That's a great song. My favorite song on the album has always been All Night Thing. I love that song. It's a perfect song to end this album with. It's a dark, it's a heavy album.
Yeah.
You're gonna go through some emotions on this one, but then All Night Thing just kind of mellows it out at the end, and it's kind of like, it's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
I don't exactly know who he wrote that song for, but Every time I listen to it, I think of, you know, getting my favorite lady beside me and, you know, going at it.
Right.
To put it kind of softly, I guess. But.
Softly. I think it was hard.
But that's just what I think about that song, and I love it. I love it to death. It's great.
Times of Trouble. That's tied for my favorite.
For your favorite? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Times of Trouble. It's a hard song to listen to, and then think about the way Chris Cornell's life ended. He ended his own life, and in that song, Times of Trouble, he's saying, you know, just hold on.
Right.
Just hold on. It's gonna get better, you know. And oh man, just if he could remembered his own words in those last moments.
Yeah, sad thing about that is you get to a dark spot, and you know, for some people it's just too hard to come out of.
Right.
But anyway, that's sad that he's no longer with us, and you know, I haven't heard a lot of his solo stuff, but you know, put out some real great stuff with Audio Slave. I thought that stuff was great.
Right.
You know. Again, another mixture of groups there with Rage Against the Machine. You know, somebody said, yeah, Rage Against the Machine and Chris Cornell are going to get together. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I don't see that happening. But it worked.
Yeah.
And it worked well. All right, so you want to talk about some beer? We're sitting here down in this.
Well, my High Wire Brewing is made in Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay. And my Duck Rabbit Milk Stout is made in, I think it says, hold on, let me read it here, Farmville, North Carolina. So some Tar Heel beer going on here tonight.
Represent. And I believe your brother gifted you these beers, did he not?
He did. My brother, Jesse Lindsay, thank you very much, lives in Johnsonville, Tennessee. He gifted these beers to me, and he had several beers that he gave to me, and this is the first time we've gotten to any of them. So thanks a lot for that. I appreciate it, Jess. And this is good stuff right here. The Duck Rabbit, it's kind of got an interesting label on it. It's kind of like one of those, you know, kind of, I don't know, a picture you could see a duck and a rabbit. I think that's probably I think I've seen that before. Maybe it's like I don't know what it is, but I've seen that picture before. It's kind of got a rabbit head, and it could be a duck head, who knows. The beer itself is pretty good. I like it. It's not as creamy, and I don't think it's as smooth as most other milk stouts I've had. Stone Milk Stout's great. Of course, Left Hand Milk Stout Nitro is great. But it's got a good taste. It's got that good, you know, stout taste to it that I like. It's a little bit bitter, a little bit sweet.
Yeah.
You know, I like it. I would definitely drink more of them. And at 5.7% alcohol, it's not too crazy strong. It's not going to knock you down unless you know, throw back about 12 of them or something, you know. You could still drive home after having 2 or 3 of them, but, you know, whatever.
This one's 5.3% alcohol, and it's good as well.
Yeah.
It is smooth, creamy, just like the label says. This is sweet, creamy beer.
Right.
It is sweet, creamy beer.
Yeah.
And same, it's got that bitter with coffee notes and the sweetness that's given to it by the whatever gives it its milk name.
I need to investigate that a little bit more and study up on that, because I know they don't put milk in it, but they put some kind of lactose in it to call it a milk stout. Maybe it's a powder or something, some kind of additive. I don't know, but
it's probably like a sweetener.
Probably. I'm not going to think real hard on it. I'm just going to drink it. That's what they make it for. About that.
What a bunch of fuck ups we are. Yeah!
All right, so
magic!
So we had a little please stand by moment there. Keith realized we did not have the album cover out here. So for those of you who are not familiar with what the album cover is, this is it. I'll, of course, put another picture up later on, maybe down here or something. But it's a pretty awesome album, and I'm assuming this is Chris Cornell on the front of it, maybe? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I believe these are members of the band here, and it's kind of, it's looks like some camera tricks going on there.
Yeah.
Some creative photography.
Right. Now these guys did tour a little bit together, right? Like maybe for like the anniversary of the album. I think I read that.
In 2012, right?
Yeah, maybe a couple of shows.
2012, 2016, maybe. They did a little tour, but they never really toured in the beginning.
Yeah.
They played a few shows, but never like an hour-long full set or anything. Excuse me.
And I don't really think that they meant, this album to come out as a touring kind of album.
Right. It's more of a tribute.
Right.
The guys were kind of healing, and that's what they said. It came at a good time. It was a good thing for us all, and of course for Eddie Vedder, it was his first time ever hearing himself on a recording. It was the first time he'd been in
That's awesome.
a recording studio and lay down vocals, and it's a kick-ass platinum selling album.
Right.
And
he just kind of fell into that one, didn't he?
right.
I mean, he just kind of fell right into it.
During Hunger Strike, Eddie's actual part, Chris Cornell was struggling to sing that how he wanted to sing it. And Eddie gave it a shot, and he sang it exactly like Chris wanted to sing it. He's like, that's it, that's exactly it. So you sing the part. So, I mean, it was just fate.
Yeah, exactly. For those of you who are familiar with the album and have heard it before, I want to just kind of throw this out there. Think about the 90s, all the awesome stuff that happened. MTV was actually watchable. Back then, they actually had music.
Yeah,
so
music videos and all kinds of such.
It was around music. That's what MTV started out as.
MTV stands for music television.
And although they have no music on there now, really,
right?
They're still music television, I guess. I don't know.
They probably have like MTV 8 now that plays
Espanol.
That actually plays music. But like I think even MTV, they had MTV and then MTV2.
Yeah.
They had MTV that had shit shows on it, and then they had MTV2 that played videos once again, and then they started playing shit shows on.
They did.
Anyway, this isn't about bashing MTV.
But thinking back in the 90s, you had some awesome stuff coming out on MTV. Not just music videos, but, their shows that they did. The live Nirvana show that they did, I don't know if it was Halloween, New Year's, whatever it was. They had a live show right around the time, I guess, In Utero came out.
Yeah.
But like you said, Unplugged. You had Alice in Chains, awesome Unplugged. You had Eric Clapton, another awesome one.
Stone Temple Pilots.
And of course, Nirvana, Unplugged. I would have liked to have seen this album in an unplugged setting.
Man.
I think it would have been great.
It would have been amazing.
I think it would have been awesome. All right, so we're at the end of this first side, so we're going to flip it over here real quick, and then we'll be right back.
Woo! I had to break it.
I was waiting for the music to start. Okay, so this song, Hunger Strike, this was probably, the most popular single, on the album. The video on MTV played in heavy rotation, all day, all night. Great video. But this is, Eddie Vedder coming in here at the beginning of the song. Just good stuff.
Well, I didn't find anything about the video. I wonder what is it. Eddie Vedder's first time being on a video. Well, Pearl Jam was already out.
Yeah, Pearl Jam had already been out, so he was. I guess Jeremy maybe was their first video.
Maybe,
I don't know. But anyway,
if you know, comment down below.
Please
tell us.
Yeah.
You can tell us we're wrong. We don't care.
Yeah, we don't care.
We like to be corrected because we'll learn.
Exactly, especially if we're going to learn something about music.
Right.
All right, so. Let's rate this beer. I'm gonna give my beer a 3.5. I like my milk stouts a little bit creamier and a little bit more body, but I would definitely buy this again and drink it. So, how about yours?
I'll give it a 3.5 as well because it was good and it was delicious, and but I've had better.
Yeah.
But
it does have a pretty cool label on it, though.
But I would buy it again if I saw it, or if I was at a bar and they had that. If I was in North Carolina, I saw this beer and I was looking for a milk stout, I'd be like, I know that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Definitely tried it if it was on tap. So. The album, okay, so I mean, there's no rating this album. It's a classic. It's a kick-ass. There's not a bad song on the whole track, guys. I mean, you're gonna buy this album. if you're a fan of the 90s, if you're a fan of Soundgarden, if you're a fan of Pearl Jam, you're gonna like it. I mean, it's a really a good mix of both groups.
If you're a fan of music, it's just good music.
Yeah,
you know?
It really is. The lyrics, the songwriting is superb on it. It's not a bunch of fluff. It's good, deep, meaningful music.
Yeah.
And the lyrics. So just go out and get it.
You know, I was listening to this at work the other day, and a lady at work, she's older than me, she's in her 50s, and she said, "What are you listening to?" And I told her Temple of the Dog, and she's like, "Never heard of it." She's like, "But this sounds really good. I really like it." And, you know, turned her on.
Right. And that's the good thing about listening to music, especially, you know, I hate to say it, but older music. This is older music nowadays,
Yeah.
you know, but, you know.
Is it classic? Is it classic
I would
rock
call
now?
it classic. I'd call it classic just because it's so damn awesome.
It's classic rock? Do they play this on classic rock stations?
I can't tell you the last time I listened to radio, so I don't know. All right, so again, Temple of the Dog, you know, great shit. The beer that we had was pretty good. I definitely suggest going out and trying them if you've never had either the beers or listen to the album. And I think that's all I got to say about it.
Right. Hey, if you're from North Carolina and you are familiar with these beer companies, tell us what else they make.
Right.
We want to know.
Yeah, and feel free to send us more stuff because, you know, a lot of those local breweries, you know, they don't sell around here. We can't find that kind of stuff. So if you'd like to send us something that you like from a local brewery where you're from, feel free to contact us on the comments below and let us know, or hit us up on Instagram, or even hit us up on Facebook and let us know, and we'll get with you, and we'd be more than happy to try any beer that you would like to send us. So
right. You can hit us up on Twitter too.
Twitter. I always forget about the Twitter bird over there.
Yeah, we're on there with Donald Trump.
Ah, yes. We should contact him, see if he'd, you know, cross promote.
He might want to do a video.
He might.
He might call us fake news though.
As he probably should. All right, well, before we go, again, comment below, give us a thumbs up. If you're watching and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. We do videos we like to try to do them every week, but unless I fuck something up and don't have the camera turned on right or the battery's dead on the mic. But we do our best to put out a video every couple of weeks anyway. That's how we've been going. So, but you know, give us a subscription, give us a thumbs up, and give us some comments. We'd appreciate it. So I'm James.
And I'm Keith.
And you've been watching Vibrations and Libations. Thanks a lot, guys.
We'll see you.